Hey everyone, and welcome back for week 9 of building Air Kit and Lego. I know that this segment is coming out on a Saturday, but I was unable to get it all done for Friday, but it is here and I'm very happy to show you guys the progress that I've made this week. So in last week's segment, I worked on the plate elevation as well as getting some stuff done on the landing pad, but in this week I get a lot, and I mean quite a lot of more progress done on the landing pad as well as finishing the plate elevation on the 4 base plates that I'm currently working on. I'm going to save all the announcements and important information to the end of this video, so let's go ahead and jump right into this week's segment. So to start off this week's segment, I got a lot of orders in. So to start off, I actually got this from Target a few weeks ago and I just forgot to mention it. It's just this little dots poly bag, and the reason why I got it is, as you can see, it actually comes with these 1x1 circular tiles and coral, so that'll also be useful for the landscape. And then also it comes with some other useful greebling pieces in some unique colors as well, so I'm definitely going to use those 1x1 round or circular tiles for the landscaping of Air Kit. And then these 3 bags are actually from a Bricklink order. Most of these are all fillers, so that's why they're like in random colors. Got 2x6 tiles, and in this bag we actually have a lot. So we have, if it'll focus again, we have 1x1 plates as well as 1x2 plates, and then 1x6 plates. And then what will be useful for elevating some of the base plates in this mock is these 2x2 plates. As I mentioned in last week's segment, I ran out of the yellow 2x2 plates, so I just placed another order for more filler 1x2 or 2x2 plates, and this time it's in white, which is fine. It doesn't really matter what color these filler plates are in. And then as you can see, we have these 1x1 coral plates because I can never have too much of those. Then finally we have the Technic pin connectors in dark turquoise. Those will be useful for the piping that goes in the front of this landing pad right here and also right over there. So I'm very happy that this Bricklink order finally came in. So the last package that came in the mail was this large ComicBrix cup, which was actually sent to me by a good friend and fellow LEGO Star Wars YouTuber, Rich Boy J. So a couple of weeks ago I reached out to him because at my local LEGO store they don't have any coral pieces on their ComicBrix wall. So I reached out to him asking if there was any coral pieces on his ComicBrix wall and if he can send me some and I can pay him back how much I owe him. And he actually sent me a list of all the parts that were on the ComicBrix wall at his store, and there were actually a few coral pieces. So he sent me a large ComicBrix cup with the parts that I asked for. And so right at the very bottom are these parts that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I said I was going to get. It's the 1x1 quarter tiles in coral, so I'm very excited to finally start using that for the landscaping edges as well as throughout this mock. And then also I went ahead and was like, why not? I don't have that many dark orange pieces and they could be useful for future mocks down the line. So here is some 2x6 dark orange plates. So those will be useful for future mocks. And the last of the parts in this ComicBrix cup are actually these 1x4 coral plates, but with the studs on the edges of it or on both sides of it. So these will actually be extremely useful again for the edges of this mock as well as for the landscaping, and hopefully these could save me a lot of just the 1x1 plates. Instead I could use these throughout this mock, so that'll save me a lot of money on buying separate tiles as well as these 1x1 plates. So this ComicBrix cup will be extremely useful, and Jay, if you're watching this, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I definitely owe you one. So now that all the plates have come in, I can finally start finishing the elevation of these 4 base plates. So I'm actually going to do a time lapse of me finishing that off right now. So I hope y'all enjoyed that time lapse, and as you can see, I was finally able to finish the plate elevation on these 4 base plates. Well, except for this little edge right here, but that's not something I needed to worry about. I just needed to get the plate elevation done, specifically on the middle base plate, which is this one right over here. And so that way I was able to shift the landing pad forward to just accommodate how big this landing pad is. I'm sure you guys are already staring at it right now. It looks amazing so far. This definitely screams Star Wars Commander to me, and I'm very happy with that aesthetic. So it looks quite different from the landing pad outline that I made back in April. I think that was week 5 of building Air Kit and Lego. So instead of that outline, I just made all the edges just connect to the base plate instead of using those hinge plates that you can fold inwards or outwards to create that outline. And just to show you guys how big this landing pad looks, I'm actually going to take this Imperial Shuttle, the newest one from earlier this year in 2021, and I'm going to put it on top of this landing pad just to show you guys how big this looks. I'm very happy with the scale of this landing pad, and I think it looks really good next to the Imperial Scout Tower. So I finally got the dark turquoise pin connectors in, so I was able to create that tubing that you see in the front, and this is actually supposed to be upwards like that. So I'm very happy with the way the front corners of the landing pad look. In the game, specifically the Imperial landing pad, the front corners of it that has this little structure right here has 8 black stripes going diagonally to the corner, but I was unable to include 8 tiles because just how thick the tiles actually are, like how much space they take up. And I was actually going to do this snot, but it just ended up looking really skinny, and it just didn't align with the top portion of the landing pad. So instead I just went with 5, and I think it looks just as good. It's not a huge deal. A lot of people aren't even going to notice anyway. It's just the little details, so I'm not too worried about that. And I'm really happy with the way this structure looks on the landing pad. These 1x3 white tiles are supposed to be medium blue, but unfortunately I didn't have any medium blue 1x3 tiles, so I'm going to have to place an order for that. So once those come in, I'll be able to swap that out. But for now, it's not a big deal. And it's also the same with this structure over here. It's not folded inwards, but there are the 1x3 tiles. And also I'm missing a 2x2 wedge plate that's supposed to go right there. Whenever I get those in, I'll put the correct parts in. But I'm just very happy with the way this landing pad looks. Let me go ahead and take this Imperial Shuttle off of it. It took me quite some time to work on this landing pad and get it down correctly, as well as this plate elevation. It was very time consuming, but in the end I think it'll be worth it, because I really want to have this edge technique there, and in order to do that I needed to elevate this MOC somewhat. So as I mentioned earlier, the landing pad is actually moved closer to the middle base plate by I think 6 studs, just so I can have enough space in between this edge of the landing pad and the walls. I just really wanted to have that space because I didn't want to be scooch up all the way to these walls. So I might have to rethink where all the rest of the buildings are going to go, considering how big this landing pad is. And in the plans I said I was going to have 2, and if I do have 2, it'll be roughly right next to it, but also right next to the second landing pad I was going to have barracks. But due to the size, I don't think I'll have enough room for the barracks. And also, since this is shifted, I'm not going to have the full middle base plate to work on that huge HQ. So either I'm going to have to shift that or rearrange where the buildings are going to be. But for now, I'm going to stay with where the landing pad is currently on this MOC. I'm not going to shift it again or anything. I think this is the perfect position for it, because it's also not too close to the Imperial Scout Tower. So I wanted to make sure like all the buildings were spaced somewhat evenly and appropriately, I guess you could say, as well. So I wasn't able to work on this top section of the landing pad. The edges were just as important as the top, because I needed to get the edges of the landing pad done in order for me in future segments to finish up the top portion so it can fill up this area over here. Let's go ahead and end out this week's segment. So this is going to conclude week 9 of building Air Kit and Lego. I'm very happy with the progress that I made on this MOC in this week's segment. I'm very happy that I got the plate elevation done on the 4 base plates that I'm currently working on. So that means in future segments I can start working on more of the landscaping with the coral tiles and plates. And also I'm very happy with the progress that I made on the landing pad. It is actually starting to look like a landing pad, and I'm just in the final stretch now. I'm so close to finishing it. So there won't be week 10 of building Air Kit and Lego next week. That is because next week is Brick Rodeo. It is a Lego convention that is here in Houston where I live. So I will be taking my previous mock, my large scale bust mock, from a Marvel TV show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so I will be taking that to Brick Rodeo, and it's from Thursday, July 22nd to Sunday, July 25th. So if you guys are in the Houston area, specifically the Sugar Land area, definitely go check out Brick Rodeo. It's going to be an awesome time. I know a lot of people from Discord and in this Lego community will be there, so I can't wait to meet a lot of some great talented Lego builders as well as fans of my channel. That's why there won't be week 10 of building Air Kit and Lego next week, but hopefully starting up the following weekend there will be week 10 of building Air Kit and Lego. So this is going to wrap up this segment, so thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see y'all in the next video.